I can't shake them. Okay. Wait for reinforcements!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bit of history in the making, really. We're here live for our very first on-location live stream. We're here at the illustrious Star Action Figures headquarters here in Brighton. It's very, very sunny, it's very, very warm, and we're having an absolute blast at SAF 1, the Collectors event. This is the first time that Star Action Figures have ever hosted their own event. And so far, it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had Brandon, the Associate Brand Manager from Hasbro UK, on hand taking questions about all your favourite licenses. So we're talking Marvel, Transformers, Star Wars, of course. And yeah, everybody's just having a really, really good time. And we're also joined live and on location once again as well by Daniel East 1000, who is here. But we thought, so we don't sweat on one another, separate for the time being. And we're also joined because we couldn't do it without him, because the three amigos of these live streams need to be together. We've got, of course, RoboQuick Collects, James.
Live from my sweaty bedroom. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
It's all good in the hood. We're going to keep this live stream short and sweet. For those of you that know how these live streams usually go, we tend to ramble. We tend to talk for a fair bit, but we're going to keep this one nice and concise. We're going to keep it limited, just because we're conscious of time, and we've got other guys coming in to do their live stream thing later on. We've had Toys R Us doing some stuff for Transformers earlier on, and Dan Who Reviews is going to be on hand later on over on his channel, live streaming regarding the Marvel side of things, Marvel Legends. So we're going to dive right into it, because what we're going to do while we're here, in addition to promoting SAF 1, which, by the way, if you're in the market for some cheap action figures, head over to staractionfigures.co.uk/event for all the latest warehouse finds. Throughout today, Wayne and his amazing team have been digging some treasure out from the warehouse. And yeah, there's some absolutely epic deals to be had. So make sure you go over there and check it out. I will, at the end of the recording, throw a link down below in the video description. But yeah, we're going to dive in, and we are going to take a look at some reveals that we got from San Diego Comic-Con recently, because there were, I think, some tasty little tidbits revealed. And the best part of all of that is the fact that we actually have some of those reveals on hand to talk about with you guys here today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're going to mix things up a little bit today, just for the purposes of getting all this stuff covered. So usually we'd cover Black Series, we'd cover the Vintage Collection as separate entities. This time around, we're just going to dive in and talk about it all. So first up, from Comic-Con, we had a TVC reveal for Ahsoka Tano from Peridea, from the self-titled show. And thanks to, amazing, once again, Associate Brand Manager for Hasbro UK, Brandon, we do have on hand Ahsoka herself. And I'm just going to throw myself up on screen there just to give you a close-up look at this figure. I believe, other than San Diego Comic-Con itself, this is the first time that this has been seen in hand. So there you go, guys. I hope you're getting a good look at that. Really, really cool figure. The card back looks fantastic. Figure itself, amazing. Dan, mate, what do you think of this one?
Have to get it. I'll have to get it. It's, I know, Vintage Collection. It's one for the card. It's one that I'm going to keep probably carded.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I need that. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? I really love that image. It's really striking, isn't it? It's really, really nice. What about you, mate, James? Are you planning on picking that one up, or is it not?
Already pre-ordered it, mate. Already pre-ordered
he's on it already.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
mate,
absolutely.
I'm chuffed.
Yeah. What have you done then, James? Have you pre-ordered both the TVC and the Black Series one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. See, they do exist. There'll be a lot of people in attendance right now that find it really weird that there are people out there that collect both scales. But we've had some healthy debate today, I think, haven't we?
It was glorious. Yeah. You know what? It was beautiful.
I'm hoping that somebody filmed it, because I think there were a lot of good questions answered about.
Someone should have.
The two and the for and against for both scales. But yeah, really, really good stuff.
Absolutely.
Ahsoka, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Just sliding on through, we do have another TVC release, which I'm going to hand over to Dan, because as the resident Thrawn aficionado, I think it's only fair that he talks about our very own blue boy himself.
Come on now, when you pass this boy to me, I'm really going to put it. I'm going to be taking this home. I'm not going to be cheap. Look at him! Oh, baby! Right. So first of all, we're getting some glare here. Come on now. So we've got that beautiful Lars Mikkelsen head sculpt. Gorgeous. Now the only thing that's a little bit of a downer, but not too much. It's not too much of a downer. Is they've reused some body parts, but that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Sometimes don't break what. Don't need breaking, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got Lars Mikkelsen there, and look at that beautiful card artwork. Branded with Ahsoka.
Absolutely.
This is one that I'm definitely going to get. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get one to have uncarded. Probably might not go as well.
I was just about to say, yeah, that is more one for your carded collection than it is.
One for the carded collection.
But at the same time, I don't necessarily think that it's one of those figures that really necessarily required new tooling. There are obviously some minor differences between Thrawn in Rebels and previous iterations.
Dad bod.
Versus, yeah, exactly, the dad bod, the Thrawn bod. Look at
that bod. I just want to give him a kiss. Wow.
But no, it's cool. The lightness, I think, is one of the things. I'm just going to pop you back into solo layout again, Dan, because that head sculpt is in person.
Let's have some one-on-one time with him. Come on, up close and personal on that Bobby.
It's a bit more impressive in person than it is.
Yeah.
Seeing it
in hand,
in image,
handling this 3 3/4 inch figure.
Yeah.
In hand is 11 out of 10. I can see this on my display beautifully. Right then, thank you.
Seeing as I'm not there with you boys, I think you should ask Dan if I think you should ask Brandon if you can send them to me in the post so I can look at them and then give my opinion on them and then send them back. Wink, wink.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get right on that. What about you?
They might just get lost in the mail. Yeah, pre-ordered that one, matey. Looking forward to that one. Touch disappointed about the reuse, but you know, it's minor. It's minor, as we've said.
That's it, isn't it? It's not the be all and end all. It's Thrawn at the end of the day. It's a blue guy in a white Imperial uniform. It's absolutely fine, and yeah, I'll take it. It's not. I'm going to be honest. It's not one for me. It's not one that I'll be picking up. I'm perfectly content with the 3 3/4 inch Thrawn representation.
You feel
pretty themed, but not in the right way. I'm perfectly happy with the Thrawn representation that I already have.
You can never have too much Thrawn representation. I'm telling you now, son.
That's one of those things. But it's all well and good. We are going to move on throughout the rest of the vintage collection reveals. Another one that we got, which playsets. Let's talk playsets because we got the Armorer's Forge, and I've got to say, when this was revealed, I was really, really happy. And I think more so than anything else, because it goes back to what we've discussed with different collectors today, is that I think play sets are handled in a really good way when they're done modular. And this for me is what I apologize, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent.
No, by all means, James has had
Go for it, Steve.
What I find with play sets is that they're so much better when they're smaller in scale and they take a snapshot of a scene or an environment or a moment in Star Wars where you don't have to what's the word? You don't have to specify, or you don't have to put to one side a specified space in your collection for a huge playset. And this falls really well into that category because it captures that small environment, that small piece of Star Wars in a really small playset that allows you to display it on your shelf. And for my money, this is right up there with sort of the Navarro Cantina. It's up there with the Blockade Run playset in the sense that it captures that moment, that snapshot from the film or the TV show, and you can have it on your shelf and you don't have to worry about space. So this is going.
You don't need that many figures to kind of accompany it.
Well, I mean, let's talk about it. So for this one, the figure that you need for it comes with it.
Yeah.
What else can be said? I mean, obviously this is going to look amazing, populated with other Mandalorians as well from the covert, but I think it's brilliant. I really, really do think it's good. And it captures all those little details from that environment well. You've got the Mythosaur skull ornament on the back. Obviously, you've got the furnace. You've got the toolkit behind the armor. I just think this is mint. I think it's a really, really good.
Does it come with a Grogu as well?
PTSD Grogu.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure whether it does, you know. I can't see him on the box. It does. He's there.
I think it does, Steve. It's the version with the roundel on his chest as well.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Okay.
I like that. What about you, Dan? Because again, between friends, you're a 6-inch guy.
You know what? I think this would be nice to have on display.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I see it, chance pulls me. I might. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but
chances are pretty steep.
Yeah.
Nice. Like what about you, James? Pre-ordered,
mate. There's something really cool you can do with this as well.
I'm actually quite surprised to hear you say that because I didn't have you down for this one.
I'll be honest, I only want it for the armor figure. That's mainly to do with space, but if I can find somewhere to display it, I will.
So while we're on the subject of playsets, let's just divert off track ever so slightly, just because we've got an hour. Let's talk some Star Wars.
Slow roll a bit.
That's it. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's just circle back to a couple of reveals that we got prior to Comic-Con. We don't have the slides on screen to be able to show, but I'm sure you're all already aware of it. The Moff Gideon Light Cruiser Corridor playset. Now, for me, again, going back to what we said about taking that snapshot of Star Wars, taking that moment from the movie or the show, and capturing it in playset form in a way that you don't have to designate. That's the word I was looking for. Designate. It's like countdown on this show, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to designate a large area of your collection to it. And that's what I really like about the Moff Gideon Light Cruiser playset is it's designed in the same vein as the Tantive before. It's modular to an extent. It's smaller, it's compact, but it captures that moment. It captures that playset aspect really, really well. James, is that one that you've pre-ordered?
Yeah.
Is it just for the figure?
Maybe. There's a trend here. It seems really stupid just to buy a playset for a figure, but it's to do with how I've got mine displayed. I have my vintage collection stuff similar to how I've got my Clone Wars stuff, if you can remember those pictures from a year ago. But these are the first two playsets that have been released for me that I actually want to put somewhere. The Moff Gideon Light Cruiser is just so versatile. Even though it's from an iconic scene in The Mandalorian, you can use it with any sort of Republic era or Imperial era display, and
I think that's
you know,
the thing,
it
isn't
just fits in numerous places.
Because obviously with that playset being based upon, I think, is it from? It's not. No, it's not from season
2, right? Finale.
It's from season 2. So, but it is again. It's like it's multifaceted. It's multi-purpose. You can use it for any Imperial corridor. One of my first things that I thought about it when I saw it was, do you know what? That looks like the hallway of a First Order Star Destroyer from the sequels with all the black paneling and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd look really, really good.
Yeah.
As a First Order display.
Yeah.
You know, it is again multifaceted, and I think that's really, really cool. I love what they're doing with the playsets at the minute. James, for those who might be watching, be it at home or here in attendance at the Safwan event, your collection's a little bit more. I'm going to use this in the nicest way possible, but your collection's a little bit more clean and minimal in comparison to such as my own collection, for example, where I like to just throw it at the wall and hope it sticks. And I have this sort of menagerie of all different things going on, play sets, 6-inch figures, 12-inch figures, plushes, all that sort of stuff. You're saying that this is going to be something that you're actually going to display. What has stopped you with play sets in the past? So take, for example, the Tampa before, or the Navarro Cantina. What has stopped you in the past from play sets and displaying them as they are? Is it purely just because you like to have that uniform look, or is it because it's space, or you're not invested in play set to begin with?
With the Navarro Cantina, it was. I think that was possibly. It was cool looking, but I felt it was a bit lackluster compared to what it actually looks like on the show. It felt like it was promoted more of as more of a piece where if you buy more, you can have it look how it should. So I had it displayed for a little while, but then as I got other things, that was one of the first pieces to go back in its box. And then for the other ones they've released, they just aren't ones that fit into certain areas that I collect, at least in this scale. So with this being Mandalorian, you know, anything in that realm, I will buy that. Thanks to the Razor Crest, you know.
And that's the thing, isn't it? As well. Again, going back to that, people like to say it. The term gets thrown about quite a bit, but it's world building, and I think this is world building done in the correct way, because you're able to build it. With large scale play sets, like I say, you've got to designate a pretty hefty chunk of space in your collection to it. Whereas with this, you are building.
There's something really cool you can do with this one as well. Somebody on Instagram pointed it out. I forget who it was specifically, but I don't know if you're touching on it later, but that Shriek-Hawk Commando 4-pack, the special action figure set that's coming out. If you take some of the characters in that, you can swap the helmets with the ones that come in this set to make 3 different Mandalorians that you could have, you know, interacting with this playset or just standing around. So small little things like that, which I don't think some of the other ones have included.
I think that's what's key,
thinking about what other stuff people have got.
Yeah, that's what's key, isn't it? I think going forward is that you've got to have those figures to accompany these playsets or these vehicles to make it worthy of a release that you've got. You know, it's not just it's a snapshot, but it's not a playset set on a shelf, and it's not a playset set on a shelf with one figure with it. One of the things that I'm really glad Hasbro did, and some people may disagree, some people may agree, but I think the Razor Crest was really, really well populated with figures following its release. So you had the Mythrol, you already had Cara Dune, you had Quill. We're getting the Blurrg now as well, which we'll touch on in a few minutes. You know, we give it grief. We give it light-hearted, all in good fun grief on these streams. But the Vintage Collection does a really damn good job of building up those environments, and building up those things, and that is why it'll always be the heritage scale. But, you know, you've got to hit those keywords, haven't you? We're on a quota today, so. So there we go. But yeah, moving on throughout the reveals that we got, just again focusing on TVC. We have the Blurrg itself. Now, Dan, your thoughts?
Not one for me, but it's very cool to see more creatures. I'm all for seeing creatures because we don't get enough of them. And I'll take what we can get. So if this sells well, hopefully it might prompt Hasbro to do some more. And I'd be completely down for that. I mean, I'm sure other people, if you don't want to reuse it as a Mandalorian themed thing, you could maybe work it into your Clone Wars displays potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or going further back, if you're of that era, if you're of that ilk, use it in your Ewoks display.
Yeah.
Get it in there with the battle, like with Wicket and
There we go.
any of your other Ewoks from your Ewoks collection. You've got a Battle of Endor display going on,
Sorted.
right in your own collection. I'm really hyped for this, to be fair. I think there's an argument to be made about, because again, huge advocate for the Black Series, love it as a line. It is what I predominantly tend to focus on a little bit more these days. But for me, this is one of those that if it was available in 6-inch, the chances are very, very slim that I pick it up now, just because of that space that I've got in my own collection. So to be able to have the opportunity to pick this up in 3 3/4 inch, which I think is its rightful place.
Yeah.
I think for a first release,
100%.
this belonged in the vintage collection. I'm thrilled with it. And again, it builds up those environments, it builds up that world. And for me, again, for my money, I really like it because, again, I'm what I like to call an eclectic collector. I like to have a little bit of all sorts going on in my collection. I like my displays to be varied. I like vehicles. I like creatures. I like plush toys. I like 12-inch figures. I like 6-inch figures. I like a bit of everything. And this just fits that bill.
Yeah.
So 100%. Again, takes me back to the deluxe line with figures and vehicles as well. In that sense, obviously, it's a bonus. That we get a carded sample of the Mandalorian with it. And we actually talk about this in quite a little bit of depth in the pre-recorded interview we did with Steve Evans, head of design and development over at Hasbro. If you haven't already checked that out, it's on the channel that preceded this live stream. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. How about you, James? Pre-order?
Say it with me. Already pre-ordered it.
I think I'm seeing a running theme here, mate. I really am.
Yeah.
We've got.
I haven't got a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
We're gonna throw it to some comments because we've got quite a few guys in the chat. We do have Fabe, greetings from Germany. Hello, Fabe. How's it going, mate?
Oh, well.
We've got Big Bendu himself. Remember the die-cast minis they did in the 80s? It would be nice to have some of those playsets interconnect. I think something like that would be really good. I'd love to see stuff like that come back. Micro playsets.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. And I'm only showing it because I was just about to say he's here. He's washing. Jay's toy collection. How's it going, pal? You all right? Good. There we go. Our first in-person guest on the stream. That's wild.
That's bad. You're making me blush.
But yeah, absolutely, hands down. And I think, again, going back to the execution, the detail, the sculpt, all that sort of stuff, all that good stuff that I like.
Love that.
It's all there on this one. Yeah, I'm buzzing. I think this is a great release. Kudos to Hasbro. Kudos to the team for putting this one together. Yeah, really excited about it. Moving on, I think we're just about coming towards the end of TVC, but one more figure that I want to touch on from the vintage collection that was revealed at SDCC was the Jetpack Trooper. Now, this is another figure that if you're out there watching and you're in the SAF 1 event, head on over to the display cabinets at the back of the room because this one is on display once again. This is another one. I'm absolutely buzzing for this release. It looks amazing. We've talked about it in a decent bit of detail in person at the event. I'm going to throw my feelings out there on this one first, and then I'll throw it over to Dan and James. But for my money, this one, I think I would like. The figure itself is chef's kiss. But for me, for my money, I would have absolutely loved to have seen this released on a Star Tours vintage card. I know there's some issues there with licensing and all that sort of stuff because Disney and the Disney parks, should I say, and obviously Hasbro are two separate entities. But these troopers are very, very similar to the Jetpack Troopers that we see on the Star Tours ride when you're on the ride and Darth Vader comes up on the elevator and you've got these jet troopers flying around behind him. These troopers are really, really similar to those.
Yeah.
And we actually got those figures released many moons ago as part of a Disney Parks exclusive multi-pack for Star Tours. So for my money, again, going back to what I've said in Instagram posts and all that sort of stuff, Star Tours is my jam. I love weird Star Wars. And for me, Star Tours is up there, and this would have been amazing on a card like that. But the figure itself, I mean, I can vouch in person, it looks absolutely incredible.
Top draw.
Top tier army builder. James, pre-ordered?
No. Well, hey, caught you off guard there. It looks cool, but for me, I would have preferred a version from Star Wars Rebels. It actually would have saved them some molding because it doesn't have the chest box. The tubes plug into the jetpack. But that's just me. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to get this. Jedi Survivor or Fallen Order is very underrepresented in vintage, so power to them if they want it. Go for it.
Just to play devil's advocate, because we've got Sea Lion Studios in the chat, where he's mentioned for uniformity, and because he's biased, this should have been on a Battlefront card back instead. I can't agree or disagree because I'm not a modern gamer, so I've got no real connection to Battlefront or Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order. So for me, it doesn't really matter what card it comes on if it's not a Star Tours card. But I do agree, and that's one of the things that we've really talked about today as well, is consistency amongst the brand and making sure that everything's uniform and it's in keeping with one another, and it ties together, and it comes together in that sense. But yeah, from a card back standpoint, it is what it is. From a figure standpoint, like I said, it utilizes the more modern Stormtrooper sculpt as well, with some new parts thrown in. So yeah, I think it's a banger. What about you, Dan?
It's all right. It's all right. It's not wrong to me. But I think anyone who's going to get this is going to have the cake and eat it, and I'm sure people are going to army build it as well. So yeah, harmless fun.
And that's one of the things as well, isn't it? I mean, when you buy cases and you buy these waves of figures, I think it's always good to always have that one figure in the wave that's an army builder.
Yeah.
One of the things again that we've talked about
absolutely
with Brandon from Hasbro and with other collectors here at SAF1 is case assortment and variety within those waves, and the fact that if you get 4 figures that one collector wants, there's probably going to be 3 out of that 4 that another collector doesn't, and vice versa. So it's about meeting that middle ground and finding that happy spot and that sweet spot where you're pleasing everyone. It's impossible because we're Star Wars fans, but there we go. Before we move on from this figure, throwing it back to Sea Lion once again, on the subject of Star Tours, they should redo those multi-packs from back in 2011, now that we've got the Disney Store Star Speeder 3000. Well, we haven't got the Disney Store Star Speeder 3000 because in their infinite wisdom, the guys over at Disney decided to limit it to 3,000 pieces, of which I'm incredibly bitter about. Can you tell?
I think everyone's bitter about it.
And we'd have honestly loved to have dedicated some time to that reveal as well, and to the Star Speeder in this stream. But again, for the purpose of the time, we're just going to swift through the SDCC stuff. But yeah, Star Tours is my jam, so I'm probably going to pick this one up and throw it in there with that collection of figures and merchandise. So I'm happy to see it. I think that wraps up our TVC reveals from. Oh no, we have one more.
I pointed that one out.
You did. Where would I be without him, man? Co-pilot here.
It's probably one of the most talked about figures with C4229. How can we forget this one?
Well, yeah, a lot of people have talked about it, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say about it. Is he here? No, he's not here yet, but we'll give him grief. We'll give him grief later. We do have, of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Cobb Vanth, finally in TVC.
Handsome boy.
Gotta say, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. One of the things that I've said about TVC figures over the course of today is that when it comes to the Mandalorian, my Black Series shelf is starting to get a little bit packed. We've had a lot of Black Series Mandalorian figures recently, and I'm glad. I already have Cobb Vanth in Black Series, but one of the things I'm doing now and finding myself doing is when a Mandalorian figure is released, if it's available in both scales, I'm prioritizing it in TVC over Black Series. But I agree with Big Bendu over in the chat. Way too long for TVC collectors to get this. Really, really, really happy to see it. And one of the other things I'm really happy to see as well is that gone are the days of deluxe TVC boxes. We have windows back, blister packaging. and that's really, really cool to see. So yeah, I'm an advocate for this one. Really, really like it.
Again, happy for people having the cake and eating it. This, I would actually say, is better than the Black Series release.
Really?
Yeah.
Say more words.
I know.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
I think it's better than the Black Series one.
Wow.
Oh
Phil,
my god.
Phil,
Oh my god.
are you hearing this?
Shocking.
TVC Cobb Vanth is better than the Black Series Cobb Vanth.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Swear.
Hand on heart.
Scout
Hand
on
on heart. Scouts on it. It's better.
Is it the quiff?
It's
Has he got a better?
It's the accessories. It just looks really good. It looks really good.
I'll take the L on that one, mate. I've got to give you that one.
That's 18-1, mate. That's 18-1.
Bosh. There we go.
That's wishful thinking. He's pumped those numbers up a little bit. We do have on hand Phil the Force. Just for those who were a bit puzzled as to what was going on there, that's Phil the Force from Instagram, lending his expertise on
There we
TVC
go.
in the absence of Boss Bounty for the time being. But yeah, I'm very surprised to hear you say that, mate.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I think I'm definitely with you on the accessories front.
yeah.
I think, yeah, obviously it comes with the flame effects. That's a massive plus.
Always fun.
But yeah, no, I'm surprised.
Oh, that's me. I'm full of surprises.
James, pre-order?
Pre-ordered. Although, just to keep the discussion going, we'll tally that up to 18-2, shall we? Because I still think the Black Series one's a bit better. Just because I'm biased.
right there with you.
I
Again,
like steering the pot, so.
Well, I've said it throughout today. Bigger canvas, more room for detail.
Yeah, that's it.
Get those premium paint applications in while you can.
I mean, you know, we got it first, didn't we? So I guess we know which one Hasbro thinks is the best. I think we could have fitted it on a regular size card back, though.
We're going to go out to a lynching in a bit. That's right. So yeah, that just about covers everything for TVC. James alluded to it earlier on in the stream. We did get some other reveals a bit prior to San Diego Comic Con. Just around that, we had the Mandalorian Shriek pack from TVC. We had a couple of other releases as well revealed. Again, we're not going to go into those now, but some really, really cool stuff coming from TVC. As it pertains to Black Series, we're going to go right in with recent Star Wars media. Controversial, perhaps, but we've made our feelings known on the Acolyte in previous streams, so we're gonna dodge that conversation for now. We're just going to focus on the figures. Vernestra Rwoh. Vernestra Rwoh. I don't know how you pronounce this woman's name, quite honestly, but she's coming to the Black Series.
Yes, she is.
She's certainly a figure.
She's certainly a figure. I like it, but could have come with a lightsaber whip. I think that's what most people's sentiments are on this one. So I might have to do a bit of a budget job myself. Yeah,
I'm very surprised, to be honest, that we didn't get an alternate lightsaber blade with this one. Because they experimented with Dooku, for example, where they gave him the lightsaber.
Yeah, of course.
So it would have been really cool to have seen that extra accessory included in this one. I think
half the team just worked on an Indiana Jones line as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
precisely. There you go. Just try to cast that in translucent plastic, bob it in, boom, the lightsaber whip. I think I speak for everyone when I say that even if you weren't a fan of the Acolyte as a series, you can appreciate the figures themselves. The figures are absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
And despite your thoughts and feelings on the show, despite your thoughts and feelings on Vernestra as a character, you've got to again appreciate the craftsmanship in the figure.
Yeah.
You know, credit where it's due. It is a really, really cool looking figure. And one of the things I've said as well, again, just to play devil's advocate for both sides here, is that if you're not a fan of the Acolyte, but you're a big fan of Jedi, the Acolyte Jedi figures serve as perfect background fodder for an Order 66 display. So there you go. Multi-faceted It's there. It's there. Dan, what about you? Your thoughts on this one?
Definitely getting it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. What more can I say? It looks lovely.
Glad you're a fan. James, pre-ordered?
Pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered.
Again, seeing that running theme. Yeah, I can't say anything negative about it. It's a good looking figure. Whether it's one I pick up immediately on release remains to be seen, but still solid choice. Surprised to see it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, at least for the foreseeable future, maybe the wave that we've had from the Acolyte so far was going to be it. So to see this one get revealed was a surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, all good. Moving on, and I'm going to let you discuss this one, mate.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because I'm loving it. I think it's a solid figure. It looks fantastic, but this is really your jam. And for that reason,
It's my jam and toast. Everything in between, brother.
Take the floor, Dan, and talk us through.
It's just a Cassian Andor. It's another Cassian Andor. He's a beautiful man, beautiful boy, and I'll be adding that. I mean, I've already got it on pre-order. I've got the full wave on pre-order.
Dan, pre-ordered?
Pre-ordered. It's done.
Pre-ordered.
You even see the figure now. It pre-ordered with Star Action figures, of course. The all-stock place for Figgy Fiendery. Of course.
Absolutely.
Get us in there on Star Action figures. Yeah. I mean, is this based on his season 2 attire?
I was just about to say, clear something up for me. Is this season 2 or is it? Because I don't remember this outfit from season 1.
I didn't know if it was the first episode, one that appears in the first episode.
I'm not sure.
I
think it's season 2.
I've
I've just rewatched Andor, so it's definitely season 2. It's also loosely based on concept art. I believe we saw it at Celebration, Dan, in that reel.
Yeah. I like that.
I was just about to say, if it was a season 1 release, then it was definitely a blink and you'll miss it one. That's why I probably didn't see it, and that does explain it, to be fair, that it is season 2 based. Solid figure again, though. Really, really good. Again, whether it's one that I pick up upon initial release remains to be seen. My Dark Times era shelf is starting to look a bit full now as well, with the addition of
all your shelves are looking full.
Make
no mistake.
I know, but you've got to do what you've got to do. Speaking of full shelves, we're going to go back to it once again. We have from the Black Series, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. As soon as I saw it on screen, needed it. James has pre-ordered it.
Yeah. Two of them.
Two of them. There you go.
I've already pre-ordered it. It's in that wave.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm pretty jazzed about this one, to be fair. This is the Imperial Mandalorian Commando or Imperial Commando. Unsure whether it's a man. Is it just a?
I don't know. I just know I need 2 of it.
It looks really, really good.
I need 2 of it.
When we get that cough, inevitable Moff Gideon in Mandalorian armor release.
Moff Gideon in armor release would be really nice.
When we get that inevitable figure,
really like that.
That's why you need 2 of these to flank that bad boy. And I think again, sculpt, just overall execution of this one, it's bob on. It's an absolute winner. It's such a good looking figure. I'm thrilled with it. Really can't say enough good things about it. James, what is it that's made you pre-order 2? What, is it just character selection? Is it quality of the figure? What is it?
Can't just have one, can you? It's a trooper. That's against the rules, man.
That's fair.
Can't fight an army by yourself.
Absolutely. Are there any other characters from Mandalorian that we've seen so far that we think deserve Black Series releases, other than obviously Moff Gideon? Because one I've took
Caloran back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a given. One for me is completely gone from my head. So Dan, take the floor, mate.
I can take the floor. The guys that he teams up with, like not the bounty hunters, but the mercenaries. Bilbert. So we've had like Zero. We've had
what's his name?
It's the Twi'lek and
The Deveronian
Blurrg.
guy
Is
as
it
well.
Blurrg?
With the horns.
Yeah, horn dude.
Yeah.
What's
Give me
Clancy
that.
Brown's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yeah,
Give me them.
Really good. I think for me as well, just because I picked up the TVC release and it's really good, is the Mandalorian Judge. I think in Black Series that figure would absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
kill. That's a really good. Is that one that you've picked up, James? The Mandalorian Judge.
Yeah, I got that one the other week. It's really cool.
It is, isn't it?
I like
Really
that
good.
one. Even the soft goods on that for the scale are just lovely.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
And Black Series, it's bigger, it's better. Let's have it.
Again, James, say it louder for the people in the back.
More to handle.
Sea Lion with an absolutely epic choice as well. They've been pilots.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's got to be a given. Keller and Beck with Grogu and Cobb. Zeb.
Yes.
Zeb's popular, man. Zeb's very, very popular. I think, there's some quality figures they can make from Mandalorian. The Imperial Commando being one of them. But my favourite reveal from SDCC in the Black Series, and I ain't kidding when I say this, and you're all thinking I'm going to select Basil next, but I'm not. Oh my God.
Yep, right, ready.
I am this one, Dan, what just
I haven't got it on pre-ordered yet. But I need it. Yeah, I need it.
It's good, isn't it? I mean, what's really cool about this figure, for those that may not be in the know, it takes that IG-11 figure, that original IG-88 figure that we got right at the very start of the Black Series line back in 2014. It takes that original figure and it eats it in the bin because this is brand new. This is whole new sculpt. It's a completely new figure. It looks amazing. It looks like it can stand up unaided, which is
to scale.
To scale. And look at the accessories it comes with. It comes with two little boys. It comes with one little Grogu.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's sick. James, pre-ordered?
Yes.
Obviously. Did we need to ask?
We didn't need to ask, but we have to do it anyway because it's like I said, it's the running theme of this stream.
Did you pre-order it?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm with you. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm absolutely going to.
Yeah.
It's a stunner.
Who are you going to pre-order it with? This for 629.
StarActionFigures.co.uk.
You're pre-ordering it with StarActionFigures.co.uk.
That's where that pre-order's going.
That's where that pre-order.
Good friends. Oops, it's over. I'm buzzing about it. I'm buzzing. Forget the name of the Anzellans.
Anzalians.
That's the one.
Anzalians.
Something like that.
Anzalan.
What are your thoughts, James? Are you glad that they finally updated the sculpt on the IG unit?
Oh yeah, let's not kid anybody. That first one was absolute crap. It's pitiful. It pushed me to buy the SH Figure Arts one at the time just because I refused to put that one on my shelf. I'd like them to repaint this one into the Sheriff version that you see at the end of season 3 as well. Obviously with an intact chest. I buy that. I think it looks great.
IG-88 as well.
Yeah.
Give us a resculpt.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
You know what I think would have been really, really cool with this, and this is just again throwing concepts out there, throwing ideas out there, but one of the things that I would have really, really liked to see about this one is if the chest had been a separate piece, so you could unplug the arms and remove it from the waist and pop in just a standard chest piece.
Kind of like a builder droid.
Yeah, in some respects, yeah. Like I said, so that it is a swappable piece, and that you can actually move those parts around, and you can create two figures in one essentially by doing that.
That's true.
But then we wouldn't have to buy two, Steve.
I was just about to say. You would have to buy two because if you wanted it displayed as IG-12,
well, yeah,
or you wanted IG-11, you'd still have to buy two to display them as different characters. Well, not different characters, but as different versions of the same droid. So, but no, as a release on its own merits, I'm thrilled with this one. Really, really excited for it. I loved it. They didn't just go straight in with IG-11. I'm glad that they didn't just make this IG-11 off the bat. I'm glad that it's a new version of the character. So even if you've got that original IG-11 and you're happy with it, this will work. you know, this will work. So I'm very, very happy with this as a release. Moving swiftly on throughout the rest of the Black Series, we do have, I think, maybe 3 more releases to touch on. If that, I think we only have 2 actually. No, we have 3. So going back to the beginning of the stream, obviously we have in hand once again the TVC release of Ahsoka coming to the Vintage Collection, but we also have the Black Series Ahsoka from Peridea as well. I'm going to say it.
Beer toys and banter.
Beer toys and banter in the house. Yeah, we've got the Black Series version of Ahsoka from Peridea as well. And I'm going to say it. I think I prefer this version of Ahsoka over her original outfits.
Yep.
100%.
I think it's a much better look. I think it's more vibrant. It's more
accurate.
It stands out.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really, really, really good looking figure. I think it looks
Correct,
amazing.
Leku, finally.
You are sorry, James?
Correct, Leku, finally.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see that this one isn't just a straight up repaint, because that's what I was fearful of. I'm going to be honest. I honestly thought
every single toy company has tried to put a version of Ahsoka out and claim it's from Ahsoka, but the head has just been completely wrong. They've just reused the Mandalorian version.
Yeah.
And it does me head in, so thank you.
I honestly thought that this would have just been a straight repaint. So to see that it is, you know, a modified version, it's, you know, it's been adjusted to be accurate. It's really, really cool to see. But it's got all the same things going for it that the Vintage Collection one has, and we've covered this one extensively at the start of the stream. So we'll not spend too long on it now, just for the purposes of time. And like I said, I'm conscious that we've got the other guys jumping on the streams later on today. So moving on to our penultimate release or reveal, should I say, from the Black Series. We don't want to delete her. That's not what we want to do. We want to add it to the stage. Dedra Meero herself. We're one step closer to Cyril Serial Boy.
We need Cyril. We need Creepy Stalker Boy to go with her. But I'm really happy with this one.
Yeah.
You're
a big Andor fanboy, aren't you?
Big Andor fan. Big 6-inch Andor. Yeah, give me anything Andor in 6-inch Black Series scale. I'm on it.
It's good, isn't it?
I'm not even mad that I've got K2SO on pre-order, which is part of this wave, as we've recently announced.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Some of you may know I'm not 100% in the loop. I didn't watch the live stream when this was announced. Does it recycle parts from Tala, from Obi-Wan, or is it a brand new sculpt? What we're dealing with in terms of obviously the head's new, the accessories are new. What we're dealing with regards to the rest of the figure, is it a new figure or is it?
I believe it's a reuse, but you know, a serviceable one, shall we say?
Going back to what we said, it's reuse done right, and I think that's absolutely perfect. It's what that Tala figure was needed. The man himself.
Oh yeah, look, I'm there. Okay,
hello.
Hi everybody at home.
This is Brandon, Associate Brand Manager from Hasbro UK. For those of you that don't
Hello,
know.
Brandon.
I just wanted to drop by and say a couple of things. Firstly, great to see everybody that's joining the live and catching up with these guys. They had a great interview earlier this week that you would have just seen. So really thank you to everybody who's watching that, taking part in this Cephalon Collectors event. We've had a really, really great day. Just something to give you a heads up on. Wayne is just headed to his computer to add some more product and warehouse finds to the website. So go to staractionfigures.co.uk/event, and you're going to see a few more things coming to stock. They're probably going to be pretty exciting. Mainly Marvel Legends, mainly Star Wars Black Series, and some Star Wars TVC in there as well.
Oh,
so,
there goes my wallet.
That was me thinking I was in trouble.
Keep your eyes peeled. Any minute now, they should be there. So stay watching these guys, but load up that site and go and have a good time. Listen, great to have you here. Really appreciate you participating, watching, enjoying. Hopefully, all the streams and all the content we're putting away today If you have any questions, feel free to ask Stephen here, and he may ask me, and I may or may not answer them. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks so much, guys.
Amazing. Thank you, Brandon.
Cheers. Thank you, Brandon.
There we go. We told you there'd be special guests.
There we go.
Hey.
Surprise all the way through.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But yeah, just going back to what we were talking about with Dedra, it's reuse done right. It's, I think one of the things that a lot of people said when Tala was released in the Black Series is that great, now we have a base body, now we have a template for future female Imperial officers. So there you go. There's your first one. Juno Eclipse, please, Brandon.
Yes.
Governor Price. Governor Price.
Governor Price.
Governor Price.
What's the other one in the red suit? That one.
The thingy face. Yeah.
Thingy face.
Yeah.
We'll have her and all. Why not?
Oh, what's the other one? That's what's her name? There's loads you could do.
There you go. Can't be said. James, pre-order?
Pre-ordered.
Epic. We know him. We know him so well. We are going to wrap up just so that, again, we can make some space for the other guys who are going to come in and live stream and do the Q&As we've got coming up after this stream. If you stick around once this wraps, that'll take you into a Q&A with over at Dan Who Reviews' channel, who's going to sit down with some of the guys from the Hasbro Marvel Legends team for a really, really good sit-down interview. And then that will then lead into Dan's live stream as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, coming to the end of our stream, and just before we do, the legend himself has returned. We have a super chat once again. Richard, welcome. Hey. Hope you're doing well. Made a very, very generous donation to the channel. Appreciate that, my friend. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Master Quiff. May I ask, where's my Chimera figure? Chimera? Right, I will ask Brandon and try and get an answer for you on that one. But we did touch on it earlier on, and obviously there's an embargo with regards to spoilers and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't necessarily always work out that you can get those characters out in time for the media. But yeah, that's obviously, I think, safe to say, one of the figures from the Black Series that everybody who was a fan of the Acolyte wants. Very, very cool figure. And Richard, when that figure does come out, your very generous donation, my friend, will go towards the purchase of that figure. So cheers for that again, my friend. Much, much appreciated. Moving on, like I said, to our final reveal from San Diego Comic-Con, we do have from the Acolyte, so quite fitting that we're coming to this one. We do get Basil.
Fantastic.
I'm going to be honest, I'm really, really surprised to see this get a Black Series release. Yeah. I thought he's one of those characters where as soon as you see him pop up in the show, you think, there's a figure that they're going to want to make some money. Whether he becomes as popular as Grogu, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think he's not quite hit pop culture icon status yet. We'll give it time. James, pre-ordered?
Absolutely. Cutest boy in the galaxy, second only to Nubs.
Very, very good, isn't he? Dan, what about you?
Not yet, but he needs to be.
He's a buy?
It is a purchase. Easy.
Good stuff.
Easy.
I think that, again, just going back to what we said when we were talking about the Vernestra, Master Vernestra figure from the Black Series. Even if you're not a fan of the show, say what you will. One thing just to be conscious of, if you're a collector, is that the Acolyte figures aren't to be missed. One of my favourite figures, or my favourite figure, to be honest, that we released from the Acolyte wave is Osha. And I'm sure, James, you've got that wave in hand as well. You can vouch.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Engineering, like all the storage options that you've got for Pip, all the articulation and the detail that's in her outfit. Absolutely amazing figure.
So good.
So
I don't think there's a bad one in that wave, is there?
No, absolutely. I think that there are some that are weaker than others, as in any wave, but there's not a bad figure in it. Absolutely not. For me, it's Yord and Osha. They're the picks of the wave. They'll also be available to pre-order over at staractionfigures.co.uk, so make sure you head over there and grab those. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Basil. Just to round out that crew for sure. Add a few more figures to the collection from that media.
Just a little weird dude on your shelf.
Absolutely. Who doesn't want a little weird dude on the shelf? So there we go. Yeah, some great reveals, to be fair, from San Diego Comic Con. Just about wraps us up. I think we're all done.
I don't think we've ever been so efficient.
I was just about to say we plowed through.
We were
plowed through. I do apologise in advance if I've spoken a little bit too much throughout this, but I'm on a hype, man. I'm on a hype. I'm on an action figure high. I'm in good company. We've got James, we've got Dan, we've got a plethora of collectors from different communities and different parts of the collecting world in attendance here at South One as well. It's just all good fun, and I think again one of the things I really want to put out there is first and foremost a massive thank you to yourself, Dan, and to James for, I don't think I've ever said it on stream, but for reinvigorating my passion for putting this content out there.
Oh, stop it.
Because I think, no, genuinely, I think I've been on a bit of a hiatus from YouTube over the past year or two, as most of you will know. And it's only through doing these live streams with these guys that I've found that passion for the content side of things once again. And so I owe a debt of gratitude to you guys for that. You've really, really lit the fire again and really got me excited to talk Star Wars online again. And I can't honestly thank you enough for that. And for your, obviously, your friendship as well. And also just to Hasbro UK for what I think is a really, really good approach that they have with regards to the wider collecting community.
100%.
The wider collecting community is really going to benefit from who's heading up the table at Hasbro now. They're listening. We had a really, really good open forum discussion earlier with Brandon, who you met earlier, who took all kinds of questions, all kinds of criticisms, all kinds of feedback on board, and will more than likely feed that back to his respective teams. And it's a really, really good time to be a fan. It's really, really exciting again to be a Star Wars collector. We've had some hits and we've had some misses over the years, but I think things are really, really, really starting to look bright for the future of this hobby, and I couldn't be more excited about it. So thank you, James and Dan. Thank you. He's not here, but thank you to Brandon and the team at Hasbro. And thank you again to Wayne and the team at Star Action Figures as well. Who
Gracious hosts,
organised an amazing event. It's been an absolute delight and a pleasure. And thank you to everyone else who's tuned into the stream. It has been a blast. And we'll see you all on the next one. So James, again, thanks for tuning in from home, mate.
Thank you to you guys for sorting this out. Very much appreciated. I'll be right alongside you for the next one.
Amazing, epic. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you all soon. Take care, and until next time, keep collecting. And may the force be with you.
Breaking all whole unit. Fire it with pick a target. Want to stabilize the Ghost 6. Anybody cover me. I don't suppose they've got my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. Okay.